Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Fitter zero, zero. Um, I just called it Fate Zero. Um, Fate Grand Order is about to come to an end for me if they actually go and kill my favorite character, Gilgamesh, man. He dies, this show dies. You got me? Um, but just hearing what Gilgamesh kind of is feeling as a whole and what he stressed this week was really cool. Um, Yet again, he is showing us just how much of a Lita he truly is and what can really just kind of get under his skin if he's not capable of controlling all the situations, things just aren't uh, that great for him, right? Like, he's not someone who loses control. He's definitely someone that is supposed to be in control, and seeing this is, excuse me, is quite a difference to see. Um, like I'm saying, he's usually just on top of stuff and never really losing to anybody for any like real reason. But seeing him in this like position where he can lose everything just goes to show you how difficult and how ridiculous things are popping off in this show because we've all seen a lot of Gilgamesh in the Fate universe in the case of just like what he's capable of. I don't think there's ever been a Gilgamesh that showed up and it was just like easy to deal with and not very strong at all. There's never really been one like that, so it's pretty obvious when you see him and he's in a position where he needs to protect a crap ton of people, but he can't simply because of what's going on with just being able to see the true outcome of what is coming. Like, the mother is just ridiculously broken, and because of it, there's not much he can do besides what he's already doing. And that's not even that much, right? Like, just giving his people hope, uh, being there for anybody that he really can be, like, all of this stuff really kind of just puts into perspective how obsolete certain things are, right? Like, certain things are just not going to work out, and it's okay. It's okay. But at the same time, um, Gilgamesh hasn't done like anything in this show really besides the things that we've seen he already did to be in like the position he was in. He already had like fought a couple of his own people in Kingu, and to see his relationship with that person truly be like wiped away was pretty sad. Not only was it sad, the end of it all with him showing up at this point in time to still kind of give him the understanding of why he looked so forward to seeing that person, or why in general he likes the guy even though he doesn't have his real soul and body, the person that is supposed to be in there. He still gave him like a chance, right? Like, he still put into perspective that just because you're this person doesn't mean I'm not going to treat you, in such a certain way because you are in his body, so I'm going to treat you as if you are him. So it really puts some humanity yet again on Gilgamesh's character, which he doesn't, he sometimes needs it, right? Like, the man has done some very unhumane things. But being in his position and being who he is, it makes a lot of sense why he thinks he's like he deserves everything, or everything he already has, or anything that doesn't he doesn't own in his position as of right now. He feels like it should be his though, right? Like, it feels almost as if he'll always give you this indicator that regardless of what you have, it's already been mine once before. So with this week, we just get to really see how dire everything is. We have one of my favorite girls pushing herself to the absolute limit, uh, using her noble plasm and just really just going off this week. But for her, and jumping off her bird and just like wrecking with all this fire still wasn't enough, right? Like her ability and her actual like raw strength somehow still wasn't enough to even dent this fight into their favor. Like nothing they can do at this point is really changing anything, and it's pretty crazy how much effort they're gonna have to continuously put into this to even get ahead. But as of right now, I definitely see this becoming a relatively dope battle because a lot of things aren't being fully explained in the grand scheme of just like why Gilgamesh is doing certain things or why he fights a certain way in this show than he does in everything else. Stuff like that hasn't like necessarily been explained, but I did hear a little explanation of one of the nice people in the comics section to help me understand that even because he's not using swords and stuff like that, it's because he loaded them in the cannons to fight off the hordes of like monsters that were coming and attacking. So anything that the humans in his kingdom really got to use were mainly thanks to him, and that's the only reason why they even had a fighting chance to begin with. Sure, Gilgamesh wasn't showing up on the battlefield and just like fighting them blade to blade, mouth, just going off, but everything that they were using was practically from Lord Gilgamesh. So, in a way, he was fighting all the time. He was just using his people as they were using his tools. So, I don't know. I really do like Gilgamesh's character in this because he doesn't seem like malicious and evil for just the plot. So that's nice. But at the end of the day, we all know if the real Gilgamesh didn't have to protect all these people and he just used every ounce of his strength for himself and to protect himself, he might have a better chance of destroying all these people that have, showed up and tried to destroy his kingdom. Sure, people would have died and he wouldn't have cared as much, but at the end of the day, this Gilgamesh truly, truly cares, and that's his new strength, right? Like that's his new power. I think we've never seen before is him being an actual king, him being truly, truly loyal to his people and trying to protect them, is just something I never expected to see from his character. So to see a whole season of it was very nice, and kind of sucks that it's going to be gone sooner or later, man. I wish there was more, but at the same time, I just want to know what the ending's going to be and if it's going to actually be worthwhile. Because in these day and age of shows, some endings are so lackluster, man, that you'd be like, ooh, I think I could have maybe came out with a better ending. Just sometimes, not all the time, but I really hope it's not anything too lackluster. I hope it's action-packed or just fits the characters really well because at this point, seeing these heroes, these spirits straight up fight with everything they have just to maybe come up a lot of bit short and not really even change the full outcome of battle just kind of gives you an explanation as of how useless this struggle would have been if they didn't have, certain people that are outside of the world trying to kind of chime in and bring new strategies about and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's getting actually pretty ridiculous in this show. I think a lot of people have either already known a lot about Fate Grand Order, so it doesn't, none of this stuff really phases them as it does me, like seeing all these stuff pop off, which is fine. Um, that's why it's so refreshing for me to see anything pop off that I just don't expect as a whole. which I'm looking forward to more of it happening if it does. If not, um, hopefully, like I said, the ending is just good. Like as of now, seeing another character that pretty much should be dead and gone show up is a little lackluster. Feels pretty unsatisfying, but that's just because of the time that it happened, and I feel like if it happened uh, maybe earlier and they gave me some explanation as to how it's even possible that the Gorgon girl is back, or the mother, then I would accept it, or at least try to understand what's going on. But this seems relatively weird that she's back. Not only is she back, she was killed by On, so maybe On is back inside her and helping control this weird way of them coming and helping us out yet again. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I really doubt that they're going to just have this person show up with zero explanation. So I hope the explanation's good and it's not just, hey, we needed another character that was actually really, really strong at this time, and we got one. Like, we just straight up had one of our characters go all out using everything she had to break some shields, and then next thing you know, a person who was in control of her, was the alliance holder, shows up and probably should be able to do even more work than the girl that we expected to do work was, pitted out to do. So that's just how it is sometimes in these shows. Sometimes things just start happening, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of lose their patience with certain shows. It's like, oh man, everything is not gonna work out, and then you see one thing pop off, and you're like, okay, it's all gonna work out now. like, oh, so that's what they're doing. It's definitely gonna work out perfectly fine now. Um, I don't know. It's not the worst thing, it's not the best thing, but sometimes it just comes off sloppy. But we'll see how they explain this and why she's here and how it's even possible. If it is a good possibility, maybe people won't be as mad or feel like it was sold short. Um, but yeah, that's my only like little gripe, was just this ridiculously powerful person that has been attacked and taken out of this world because of these humans, because of man and these spirits. But now you're gonna come back and help them out? I don't know about that, But it also makes sense because she did kind of want the guy who is our main character with MASH. She wanted him to be her leader, like to be the person that gives her, more power to get stronger and stuff like that. But refused her and ended up attacking her. So there was some bit of wanting to work together, but for her own goals, not for anyone else. So maybe that's why she's here. An obligation of just someone that she respected and wanted to even have on her side. Now she's going to maybe have a chance to show that person that if she was on their side, they could have been the most unstoppable force. I don't know. But with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely will talk to you sooner than later. So with all that being said, take care and peace.